Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition. February 8, 2025 featuring Crypto. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition. February 8, 2025 featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs January 24th to January 30th, 2025.
APT, Rosé et Bruno Mars.
Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AJ Key Rat, Madhu Banti Bagshi, Divya. DTMF, Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 24th to Thursday, January 30th, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die with a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 4th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Overcooked, 2 Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued a fact sheet explaining the embedded backdoor function in the Context CMS 8000 firmware. One more drop in the AI ocean. MAPSU S1-7B, Anil N. Kott. U represents a pioneering collection of open-source foundation models aimed at music creation, particularly at converting lyrics into entire songs, lyrics to song. It has the ability to produce a full song, extending over several minutes, featuring both an engaging vocal section and an instrumental section. U is adept at representing a wide array of genres, languages, and vocal styles. For an impressive vocal display, be sure to check out the demo page. Colombia's president claims that cocaine is no worse than whiskey and would be sold like wine if legalized globally. Despite ongoing discoveries of clandestine graves in Mexico, the government has ceased releasing statistics. 2 years ago, a nonprofit reported that Mexico was uncovering 1.8 clandestine graves each day. Tunisia has resumed its crackdown on political dissent, jailing opposition politicians and journalists. The opposition leader Ghannouchi received a new 22-year prison sentence. 4 months ago, Tunisia reportedly imprisoned presidential candidate Ayachi Zamel for 12 years. 8 months ago, leading opposition figure Musi was sentenced to jail. Apple is developing a tabletop robot with realistic movements, expected to launch by 2027. Civilization 7 has had a difficult beginning, earning mixed reviews on Steam from its premium supporters. This unfinished mess is nothing like the Civ 6 release. LeBron James has set a new record as the oldest player to score 40 points in NBA history, achieving 42 points in the Lakers' win. Ireland and Spain should take Palestinians, Israeli minister says. In Israel, in meeting with Foreign Minister Sayar, top Italian diplomat says Rome will no longer work with UNRWA. Also, Tajani tells Sayar 2 states is solution for future. Netanyahu told U.S. officials war could end if Hamas leaders go into exile, claimed sources. Trump is considering allowing states to manage schools and is contemplating significant reductions to the U.S. Education Department. Elon Musk has remarked that the Department of Education is no longer relevant. Elon Musk's Doge is reportedly processing sensitive federal data into AI to identify areas for cuts, and Elon Musk's Doge is developing a personalized chatbot named GSAI. Chris Anderson is offering TED to anyone with the most innovative idea for its future. Linus Bio introduces ClearStrand ASD, a revolutionary autism biomarker that allows healthcare providers to exclude autism with just one strand of hair. Meanwhile, the CDC briefly shares information on bird flu transmission between cats and humans before removing it. Additionally, the NCAA in the U.S. implements a new policy restricting transgender student athletes to competing in women's sports only if they were assigned female at birth. Trump alleges that media outlets received payments to produce favorable stories about Democrats, intensifying a conspiracy theory regarding Politico's compensation. Hungary's leader charges USAID with financing left-wing media across Europe. Remarks have noted that USAID allocated $44,000 to Politico, contrary to the White House's assertion of over $8 million. The payment was for subscriptions, and the White House plans to cancel $8 million in Politico subscriptions following the spread of a misleading right-wing conspiracy theory. Bolivia and Argentina investigate an illegal hunting network responsible for the deaths of jaguars. Humpback whale songs exhibit patterns similar to those found in human language. Indonesia mandates the cessation of tourism projects associated with Trump due to environmental concerns. Putin's North Korean troops have reportedly been removed from the front line, according to Seoul's intelligence agency, while Zelensky claims they have returned. An Azerbaijan Airlines plane that crashed en route to Russia was reportedly found with numerous holes. As per a report, Azerbaijan is intensifying a rare conflict with Russia regarding the passenger plane's downing. The Baltic countries have terminated their electricity connections to Russia via the Soviet-era grid and are strengthening their EU alliance. Trump places sanctions on the ICC, claiming it focuses on the US and Israel. Meanwhile, numerous countries oppose these sanctions by the Trump administration. Israel decides to cease interaction with the UN Human Rights Council, citing alleged bias. Additionally, a leaked document indicates that a large-scale immigration enforcement action is imminent in Los Angeles. UK mandates Apple to permit surveillance on users' encrypted accounts. The DeepSeek iOS application transmits data unencrypted to servers controlled by ByteDance, and DeepSeek limits access to AI model due to increased demand overwhelming capacity. Japan's financial services agency directs Apple and Google to eliminate Bybit, KuCoin, and 3 cryptocurrency exchange applications from their platforms. NASA will conduct its inaugural Twitch stream from the International Space Station. Blue Origin, owned by Bezos, replicates lunar gravity for NASA experiments during space travel. Investors are concerned about the financial health of Eutelsat and SES as the threat from Starlink approaches. Google is experimenting with an AI mode in its search engine to provide answers to all your open-ended questions. Microsoft has launched an AI-driven scareware blocker for its Edge browser. Amazon has committed $26 billion per quarter to enhance its Gen AI capabilities and undergo a retail transformation. The Prince Netflix documentary, which has stirred controversy, will not be released. The estate now has the freedom to develop a new project. Carla Sofia Gaskin expresses her hope that her silence will contribute to Emilia Perez being appreciated for what it is in a new apology following a director's description of her as self-destructive. Christie's has withdrawn an El Greco masterpiece due to an ownership dispute with Romania. J.D. Vance is selected to manage the possible TikTok sale with an April 5th deadline approaching. Trump announces that reciprocal tariffs will be declared for every nation next week, and he halts the de minimis repeal as packages accumulate at U.S. Customs. Trudeau informs an audience that Trump's threat to annex Canada is real and driven by the desire to access essential minerals. Emissions from powering AI data centers are expected to lead to significant health issues, potentially resulting in 600,000 asthma cases and $20 billion in health expenses by 2030. According to DeepSeek research, Huawei's Ascend 910C achieves 60% of the inference performance of NVIDIA's H100. DeepMind asserts that its AI surpasses the abilities of gold medalists in the International Mathematical Olympiad. India reduces interest rates for the first time in almost 5 years to stimulate economic growth amid declining inflation. The Bank of England lowers rates, anticipating increased inflation and diminished growth. Trump announces that the U.S. and Japan will collaborate to reduce the trade deficit while meeting with Ishiba. Donald Trump indicates a desire to engage in discussions with Iran regarding the nuclear agreement. Trump asserts we will establish relations with North Korea. It is reported that the U.S. restrictions on semiconductors have impacted China more significantly than anticipated, with TSMC proceeding cautiously. New Jeans, a K-pop group, has rebranded as NJZ and revealed performance dates for March while dealing with a contract dispute. Christie's is organizing an auction featuring only AI-generated art. A court has ruled that liking a post containing a porn deepfake can result in liability, as seen in the Megan Thee Stallion lawsuit. Elon Musk's X is under criminal investigation in France due to concerns about algorithm manipulation. German non-profit organizations have succeeded in a lawsuit for access to public data against. Elon Musk's X has acquired a new adtech partner in an effort to attract additional advertisers. France and the UAE have signed a significant agreement for an AI data center, potentially valued at up to $50 billion. DeepSeek's AI model, described as efficient, is influencing the energy market, leading to discussions about demand. Meanwhile, Chevron is considering gas-powered plants for data centers. Additionally, AI chip company Cerebras has collaborated with France's Mistral, asserting a speed record. Bloomberg notes that Wall Street is experiencing a more concealed era of stock trading. Trump aims to close a contentious tax loophole that has significantly increased the wealth of Wall Street's elite for many years, and investment groups are against Trump's proposal to raise the carried interest tax, as Trump plans to terminate carried interest and broaden SALT in his tax legislation. Trump confirms the United States' withdrawal from the International Tax Agreement. Netflix is contemplating a bid for the Formula One television rights. Spotify and Warner Music have entered into a new multi-year agreement. Warner Music has acquired songs by Bruno Mars and Adele in a $450 million transaction. Honeywell, HON, divides into three due to financial worries. Nikola, a producer of hydrogen trucks, approaches bankruptcy documentation. Trump predicts Nippon will withdraw $15 billion offer for U.S. Steel, yet significantly engage in it. Gemini is considering an IPO as cryptocurrency companies advance their listing plans. The Melania memecoin has plummeted by 90% from its highest point as its novelty appeal diminishes. It is said that USDC has completely recovered from the FTX market crash. Fintech company Klarna is aiming for a U.S. IPO in April. Trump plans to establish a religious office in the White House to address anti-Christian bias. The Trump administration is taking steps to halt the national rollout of electric vehicle chargers. Trump announces his intention to undo Biden's initiative aimed at eliminating plastic straws. UNESCO finishes restoring Mosul heritage sites harmed by ISIS. A 300-year-old Stradivarius violin fetches $11 million at a New York auction. The Metropolitan Museum of Art hosts its first major retrospective in the U.S. focused on Caspar David Friedrich. A Doge staffer resigns over racist posts. Elon Musk demands firing of disgusting and cruel Wall Street Journal reporter who uncovered Doge employees' racist tweets. Vance and Trump call for rehiring of Doge staffer who quit over racist posts. Musk obliges. In the United States, the Treasury is focusing on an oil network that is providing hundreds of millions of dollars to Iran's military. The Trump administration has dissolved a task force aimed at Russian oligarchs. Reuters notes that while Trump's minimal cancellation is concerning for Temu, it poses an even greater threat to Shine. Ad buyers criticize Google, Amazon, and others for ads appearing on a site with child abuse content. Hearst Magazines introduces Aura, a first-party AI ad targeting tool, to global markets. The Science Museum in the UK claims Lego is anti-LGBT and only supports two genders. Meta partners with UNESCO to develop a groundbreaking AI program for speech and translation. Microsoft reports that cybercriminals exploit unprotected ASP.NET keys to distribute malware. Spanish law enforcement apprehends a hacker suspected of targeting NATO and the U.S. Army. India's Reserve Bank of India unveils a unique bank.in domain to address digital banking fraud. FBI and Dutch police interrupt phishing group known as Manipulators. Hacker alleges OpenAI breach, selling 20 million login credentials. Meta takes action against leakers. Quantum teleportation is utilized to spread a calculation. Docker Bake is now widely available in Docker Desktop 4.38, enhancing the efficiency of Docker builds. In the UK, the Tornado 2 Tempest fighter jet component recycling project has begun successfully, with old fighter jets being melted down and 3D printed into new ones. Trump announces the termination of Biden's classified intelligence briefings as a retaliatory action, alongside the revocation of Joe Biden's security clearance. Trump intensifies his lawsuit against CBS 60 Minutes, now seeking $20 billion, claiming that the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris unjustly redirected viewers away from his Truth Social platform. The Pentagon removes WALPO and CNN from its offices, opting instead for the Daily Caller, the Free Press, and other media outlets.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 6, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs January 24th to January 30th, 2025. Appétit, Rosé et Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AAJ Kiraat, Matrubanti Bakchi, Divya. DTMF Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 24th to Thursday, January 30th, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die with a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 4th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Overcooked. 2 Minecraft Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2. PUBG Battlegrounds. Red Dead Redemption 2. Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued a fact sheet explaining the embedded backdoor function in the Context CMS 8000 firmware. One more drop in the AI ocean. MAPSU, S1-7B, Anil N. Kott. U represents a pioneering collection of open-source foundation models aimed at music creation, particularly at converting lyrics into entire songs, lyrics to song. It has the ability to produce a full song, extending over several minutes, featuring both an engaging vocal section and an instrumental section. U is adept at representing a wide array of genres, languages, and vocal styles. For an impressive vocal display, be sure to check out the demo page. USPS will now accept all inbound packages from China and Hong Kong. Previously, the U.S. Postal Service had suspended these parcels. Additionally, China has placed Google, NVIDIA, Intel, Calvin Klein parent PVH, and Illumina on its unreliable entity list. Bloomberg also mentions that China is considering an investigation into Apple's App Store fees and practices. Meanwhile, a Panama court is being urged to cancel a Hong Kong firm's canal contract due to a Trump threat. The Panama Canal Authority, however, denies any changes to fee charges following a U.S. claim. Recently, U.S. government vessels have been allowed to sail the Panama Canal without fees, according to the U.S. OpenAI's Sora filmmaking tool encounters opposition in Hollywood. Meta reorganizes its generative AI, Messenger, and Facebook divisions. ByteDance introduces OmniHuman, an AI capable of producing lifelike videos from a solitary photo. Argentina is developing genetically modified polo ponies. Australian researchers have successfully created kangaroo embryos through IVF for the first time. The earliest known evidence of lead pollution has been discovered in ancient Greece. Ampere reveals that streamers will allocate $95 billion to content in 2025, outpacing commercial broadcasters. Reuters is set to embark on a significant expansion in the Middle East. The NMPA initiates a comprehensive takedown of Spotify's podcasts, alleging infringement, and vows to continue until the platform resolves its podcast issues. In the United States, a lawsuit alleges that the University of California has discriminated against white and Asian individuals during Trump's DI crackdown. According to sources, the NFL plans to eliminate end racism messaging from the end zone before the Super Bowl. Additionally, Google has abandoned its diversity hiring objectives, citing Trump's DI directives. In the U.S., SEC plans to reduce its crypto enforcement activities. Taproot Wizard secures $30 million to enhance smart contracts on Bitcoin. White House crypto czar David Sachs emphasizes stablecoin legislation as the top priority, while Senator Bill Hagerty introduces the Genius Act to establish a stablecoin framework. Former Google engineer is charged in the U.S. with allegedly stealing AI secrets for Chinese firms. The EU establishes guidelines to prevent the misuse of AI by employers, websites, and law enforcement. Google retracts its commitment not to employ AI for weapons or surveillance. Apple introduces the Apple Invites app to facilitate party invitations, aiming to generate recurring revenue. Opera Air, a browser specifically crafted for stress management and enhancing focus, has been launched. An internal memo from Meta's CTO indicates that 2025 is a critical year for the company's XR ambitions. WHO indicates that the worldwide cancer burden is expanding, highlighting the increasing demand for services. Research suggests that COVID-19 is associated with a rise in biomarkers indicating abnormal brain proteins. Investigations connect marijuana use to enduring changes in the cortex and an increased risk of schizophrenia. Volvo to deploy Wabi self-driving Gen AI to get more autonomous freight trucks on the road in 2025. Adobe claims that 69% admitted signing a contract without knowing all the details, and announces Adobe AI Assistant for overview, summaries, and differences between versions. Google parent Alphabet plans to spend $75 billion this year, as big tech goes all in on AI. Carla Sofia Gaskin reportedly removed from the Amelia Perez Oscars campaign due to the re-emergence of concerning posts. President Biden has joined a Hollywood talent agency that also represents the Obamas. Bandai's live-action Gundam film is set to have a theatrical release. Thailand has reduced electricity supply to regions along the Myanmar border, where scam operations are prevalent, amid increasing pressure from China. China is implementing stricter regulations to oversee the distribution of microdramas. The Chinese box office achieved a record-breaking $1.3 billion during the Lunar New Year, with IMAX also reaching new milestones. Bloomberg states that over 20,000 federal workers have accepted Musk's buyout. Sources indicate the CIA is offering buyouts to its entire workforce to match Trump's priorities. NASA workers were instructed to drop everything, to remove mentions of indigenous people and women from its websites. It has been remarked as Musk demonstrating what real government censorship on social media entails. Zelensky urges Tucker Carlson to cease his admiration for Putin following Carlson's accusation of Zelensky as a dictator. Ukraine accepts Trump's proposal to exchange minerals for military aid. The EU and Moldova reach an agreement on an energy security plan to reduce Moldova's dependence on Russian energy. U.S. Navy tests its powerful laser weapon capable of destroying warships and drones, with an astonishing photo capturing the moment. European Union permits the use of powdered insect larvae in bread and various other foods. Javier Milei commands Argentina's exit from the World Health Organization. Treasury Department confirms Doge's payment data access is limited to read-only. DHS examines TSA's growing facial recognition program due to privacy issues. Trump administration working on an executive order to start the Department of Education's removal. Trump advises Gazans to evacuate, stating the U.S. will assume control and reconstruct the area. He does not exclude the possibility of deploying U.S. troops to aid in rebuilding Gaza and envisions long-term U.S. ownership. Saudi Arabia quickly responds, asserting no diplomatic relations with Israel without the establishment of a Palestinian state. A pro-Trump Arab American organization renames itself, following the president's remarks about Gaza's Riviera. Iran commends the U.S. for reducing foreign aid funding, anticipating a Trump message on nuclear negotiations. Greenland's parliament endorses a prohibition on foreign political donations as Trump pursues the island. Mexico's foreign minister declares that the country will not permit the U.S. to deport Mexicans to Guantanamo. A viral image of Mars' surface featuring a square structure has sparked conspiracy theories. Meanwhile, Musk is planning to send astronauts. Temperatures at the North Pole are 20 degrees Celsius above average, surpassing the ice melting point. Researchers suggest that an ancient asteroid impact created two Grand Canyons on the Moon, with the Moon Grand Canyon forming in less than 10 minutes due to high-speed space rocks, according to a study. Iran is reportedly creating plans for quicker and more basic weapons, according to the U.S. Analysts suggest that the American Iron Dome diminishes nuclear threats, but intensifies the arms race. Reuters indicates that satellite images reveal China constructing a massive fusion research facility, with analysts noting that China is building a colossal laser facility to achieve nearly limitless clean energy. Hugging Face researchers are working on creating an open alternative to OpenAI's advanced deep research tool. OpenAI's deep research has achieved remarkable success by setting new records on the world's most challenging AI exam, leaving ChatGPT o3, Mini and DeepSeek behind. The DeepSeek jailbreak has exposed its entire system prompt. Scientists have identified a third form of magnetism, which could potentially be the missing link in the pursuit of superconductivity. Google anticipates that commercial quantum computing applications will become available within the next 5 years. IBM asserts that it has secured $1 billion in cumulative quantum business. Consuming omega-3 fatty acids daily might aid in maintaining the youthfulness of human organs. Adolescents with a higher intake of ultra-processed foods tend to have lower academic performance. Research indicates that prolonged cannabis use interferes with essential brain functions. NASCAR and Comcast collaborate to grant a point for the Xfinity fastest lap. Cristiano Ronaldo marks his 40th birthday and decides not to retire yet. Americans are anticipated to legally wager approximately $1.4 billion on the Super Bowl. Researchers developed an accessible alternative to OpenAI's O1 reasoning model, named the S1, for a cost of less than $50. According to Nikkei, China's state-supported laboratories offer essential support to U.S.-sanctioned chip manufacturers. It is said that the New York Times has allocated $10.8 million to its ongoing legal dispute with OpenAI. Trump tariffs reportedly surprise consumers with shipping fees from China reaching up to $50. Snap claims that the uncertainty surrounding TikTok has positively impacted its business. Robinhood has stopped the introduction of Super Bowl betting contracts, following a request from the CFTC. Spain plans to reduce the working week to 37.5 hours. Recent research indicates that Gen Z digital natives are eager for in-person events to foster connections and progress in their careers. OpenAI collaborates with the California State University system to integrate AI with 500,000 students and faculty, aiming to enhance higher education in the U.S. through the ChatGPT rollout at California State University. Kazakhstan has made a significant public health decision by banning the sale of energy drinks to minors. In the United States, senators are progressing a bill that would prohibit children under the age of 13 from using social media. Meanwhile, Novo Nordisk remains optimistic despite the potential threat of Trump tariffs, as their sales of the weight loss jab continue to rise. It was reported 6 months ago that the use of drugs for weight loss is increasing among teens, with girls being the most frequent users. 2 years ago, Reuters highlighted that the maker of Wegovy and Ozempic is investing heavily in U.S. obesity doctors. Kaspersky has identified a new Trojan designed to steal cryptocurrency, which is available on both the App Store and Google Play. Meanwhile, Chainalysis has indicated a 35% decrease in ransomware payments year-over-year, with less than half of the recorded incidents resulting in victims making payments. Additionally, a 7-zip zero-day vulnerability was exploited during Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. MicroStrategy has rebranded itself as Strategy, introducing a new logo and emphasizing its Bitcoin-centric identity. OpenAI has launched a new logo featuring an updated color scheme and typeface. Volkswagen is hinting at its upcoming €20,000 electric vehicle, with a show reveal scheduled for March 5th. Apple TV Plus introduces a new K-pop song competition series called Copped, featuring PSY and Megan Thee Stallion. Fox News brings on Lara Trump, the president's daughter-in-law, for a weekend program on the network. Warner Brothers is unexpectedly releasing lesser-known and delightful films on YouTube for free viewing. Germany's MERS cautions that the US has transformed into no longer the America we used to know. According to Axios, Tesla experienced a decline in European sales in January following Musk's political disruptions there. Additionally, Axios notes that a PBS poll reveals significant support among Trump voters, despite the GOP's efforts to defund PBS. Lastly, it is reported that in the U.S., Democrats are receiving numerous calls urging them to fight harder. Wall Street Journal indicates that Trump is contemplating classifying migrants as potential risks for measles and tuberculosis. During Rubio's visit, Guatemala has consented to receive additional deportees, and the U.S. plans to confiscate Venezuelan president's plane located in the Dominican Republic. The Panama Canal Authority refutes allegations of altering fee structures, following a U.S. assertion. The U.S. government claimed that its vessels can navigate the Panama Canal without incurring fees. Elon Musk allegedly faces a significant conflict of interest driving his efforts to dismantle USAID, as the agency invested $1 million in Musk's Starlink terminals over the past year. It has been noted that USAID, perceived as Musk's adversary, was examining Starlink's contracts in Ukraine. 3 days ago, it was reported that Musk claimed Donald Trump concurred with the need to shut down USAID. The White House stated that Musk will manage his own conflicts of interest. A House Democrat introduced a bill named after Musk, which aims to terminate federal contracts for special government employees. Trump issues an executive order titled No Men in Women's Sports, stating that transgender athletes will be barred from the 2028 Olympic Games. The Milei government in Argentina plans to prohibit gender affirmation surgery and hormone treatment for individuals under the age of 18. In the United States, the women's soccer secures a $5 million settlement with the state regarding allegations of abuse. AMD surpassed Intel, achieving a 13.5% increase in data center and AI revenue during the fourth quarter. Apple's M5 chip, designed with AI in mind, has begun mass production. Google adjusted its Super Bowl advertisement after it depicted its AI providing inaccurate information about Gouda cheese. Consuming 1 egg per week is associated with a 29% reduction in the risk of dying from heart disease. Researchers have achieved the goal of depriving cancer cells of nutrients by creating artificial fat cells that absorb the surrounding resources. A study proposes that an ancient section of the brain signals when to cease eating. Honda-Nissan merger faces major challenges as Nissan declines proposal. Toyota Motor experiences nearly 28% decline in third-quarter operating profit, falling short of expectations. Ford shares decline as company predicts slower growth and additional losses for electric vehicle division. Justin Sun, who purchased Sotheby's $6 million banana, initiates legal action against mega collector David Geffen regarding a $78 million Giacometti sculpture. 4 years ago, Tron's founder Justin Sun had previously donated Giacometti's $78.4 million Lunez to the APIMF Foundation. Meanwhile, the British Council, amid a debt crisis, contemplates selling part of its art collection. Additionally, Knight Frank reports that Dubai's luxury residential market achieved a new milestone in 2024, with 435 home sales, priced at $10 million or more. In Google Ads update, landing pages that mislead users are now ranked lower. Mizuno USA acknowledges a data breach after a ransomware claim was made. Uganda arrests 9 finance officials in connection with a $16.87 million central bank hack. Bangladesh demonstrators set fire to the residence of the former Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. Donald Trump Jr. is alleged to have discharged a firearm at a safeguarded rare duck in the Venice Lagoon. Nigel Farage dismisses a query regarding Donald Trump's strategy for Gaza, humorously mentioning casinos, nightlife, very appealing to me. EA anticipates the next Battlefield installment will be available before April 2026. African gaming revenues have reached a new record of $1.8 billion. Marvel refutes claims of using AI for new Fantastic Four posters. which feature extra fingers and duplicate faces. Voldex has acquired a player base of 120 million from Brookhaven, positioning it as the largest developer in Roblox.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 4th, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs January 24th to January 30th, 2025.
APT, Rosé et Bruno Mars.
Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
AJ Kiraat, Madhubanti Bagchi, Divya.
DTMF, Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 24th to Thursday, January 30th, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die with a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 4th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Overcooked, 2 Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued a fact sheet explaining the embedded backdoor function in the Context CMS 8000 firmware. One more drop in the AI ocean. MAPSU S1-7B, Anil N. Kott. U represents a pioneering collection of open-source foundation models aimed at music creation, particularly at converting lyrics into entire songs, lyrics to song. It has the ability to produce a full song, extending over several minutes, featuring both an engaging vocal section and an instrumental section. U is adept at representing a wide array of genres, languages, and vocal styles. For an impressive vocal display, be sure to check out the demo page. Reuters has revealed that Volkswagen has initiated legal action against India to invalidate a substantial $1.4 billion tax claim, as detailed in a legal document. Additionally, in 2023, China experienced a record surge in Atlantic salmon imports, reaching nearly 93,000 tons, which marks a 46% increase compared to the previous year. Furthermore, Beijing has responded to Trump's tariffs by launching an investigation into Google. Super Bowl ads have been noted for foreshadowing the dot-com and crypto bubbles. This year, expect numerous ads promoting AI companies. OpenAI's latest trademark application suggests the development of humanoid robots, smart jewelry, and additional products. The EU has now prohibited AI systems that pose unacceptable risk. Wandering salamanders remain in tree canopies due to their blood-powered toes, which they fill with blood prior to each step. Urban rodent populations increase significantly as the climate warms. According to a study, India has successfully doubled its tiger population over the past decade. Putin believes Trump will discipline the European elite, while Trump suggests he and Putin could achieve something substantial to conclude Russia's conflict in Ukraine. A Hamas official is scheduled to visit Moscow on Monday to meet with the Russian Foreign Ministry, according to RIA. In the United States, the CDC has eliminated gender and equity references from its public health materials. Earth's moon might have once possessed rings similar to those of Saturn, according to a recent study. China is planning its Chang'e 7 mission, which will deploy a flying robot to explore the moon's south pole in search of water. A Chinese spacecraft disintegrated over Los Angeles, and earthquake sensors tracked its trajectory through the atmosphere. Mind blindness explained. Individuals unable to visualize with their mind's eye still engage their visual cortex, according to research. Researchers find cannabis in a completely different plant in Brazil. The grease in polar bears' hair provides their fur with anti-icing characteristics. Bonobos discern human ignorance and attempt to assist. Texas Stock Exchange submits Form 1 registration to function as a national securities exchange. LVMH offloads its stake in Stella McCartney to the founder following a market downturn. Meta's investment in virtual reality and smart glasses is projected to exceed $100 billion. Robotics company Figure AI plans to deliver 100,000 humanoid robots following the success of a fleet order from BMW. Google's X division has launched Heritable Agriculture, a startup utilizing AI to enhance crop productivity. Anthropic asserts that its new AI security technique prevents 95% of jailbreaks and welcomes red teamers to attempt a breach. Trump temporarily halts Mexico tariffs for a month following a deal on border troops. Mexico commits to deploying 10,000 troops to the U.S. border in return for the tariff pause. Earlier, the White House stated that Canada misinterpreted the tariff order as a trade war, while Mexico took it seriously. Panama intends to withdraw from China's Belt and Road Initiative following Senator Rubio's visit to the Panama Canal. Elon Musk mentioned that Donald Trump concurred with the idea of shutting down USAID. Previously, Musk expressed his efforts to dismantle USAID, describing it as beyond repair. Human brain samples were found to have a spoonful of nanoplastics, according to a study. Astronomers are advocating for a worldwide prohibition on space advertising. Climate change is projected to reduce $1.47 trillion in U.S. home values over the next 30 years. Jimmy Carter receives a Grammy posthumously for narrating an audiobook of his Sunday school lessons. During the Grammys 2025 ceremony, Beyoncé secures her inaugural Album of the Year award, while Kendrick Lamar achieves significant victories. Missouri's Chappell Roan is honored with a Grammy for Best New Artist and delivers a speech criticizing record labels. An AI-generated song earns the Beatles their first Grammy 55 years after their disbandment, winning the award for Best Rock Performance. Bitfarms, a Bitcoin miner on Wall Street, has engaged consultants to assess AI and HPC. Utah has decided to establish a state Bitcoin reserve program, following the passage of a bill permitting public funds to invest up to 5% in digital assets. 2 weeks prior, Massachusetts introduced strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation. Additionally, an Arizona Senate committee approved a strategic Bitcoin reserve bill with a 5-2 vote, which would permit a 10% investment of state funds in Bitcoin. El Salvador has taken Bitcoin out of legal tender status to comply with IMF loan requirements. Electric cars captured 96% of Norway's market in January. By producing batteries in Morocco, Chinese EV manufacturers are overcoming Western tariffs. Trump indicates that he desires Ukraine's rare earth elements as a prerequisite for additional support. Trump plans to cut U.S. funding to South Africa over land law. Musk has also criticized the country. South Africa denies confiscating land after Trump threatens to cut off aid. Taiwan says South Africa gives March deadline to move office from Pretoria. GOP pollster says Trump voters tired of being accused of racism. A reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer featuring Sarah Michelle Gellar is being developed by an MCU director. Additionally, Netflix has commissioned a reboot of Little House on the Prairie, marking the first time in over 40 years since the original series aired. Meanwhile, U.S. streaming ad revenue is expected to near $17 billion, although competition is intensifying. Trump tariffs target a trade loophole exploited by Chinese online retailers such as Temu and Shein, which rely on a century-old tariff loophole that Trump seeks to eliminate. Trump directs the establishment of a U.S. sovereign wealth fund, suggesting it might purchase TikTok. Trump's memecoin plummets to 75% below its peak following the weekend tariff announcement. China constructs a massive wartime military command center in Beijing. AMD SEVSNP vulnerability enables malicious microcode injection with administrative privileges. Cloudflare introduces one-click content credentials, tracks image authenticity and maintains creator attribution. Meta indicates potential halt in AI system development, citing risks deemed too high. SoftBank announces joint venture with OpenAI, pledges $3 billion annually for OpenAI's technology. A new bill aimed at significantly reducing anime and other piracy activities in the United States has received support from major companies such as Netflix, Disney, and Sony. Meanwhile, CNN is planning to enhance its presence in the Middle East by establishing a new operation in Media City, Qatar. Additionally, MotoGP and FanCode have reached a 3-year agreement for digital streaming rights in India. Microsoft Paint now includes a Copilot button to access generative AI features. OpenAI has introduced a deep research agent designed for handling multi-step research tasks. Apple criticizes EU app laws following the arrival of the first adult app on iPhones. A new fabric has the ability to increase in temperature by over 50 degrees, providing warmth in extremely cold conditions. Sony Japan has made a commitment to ensuring a stable supply of optical discs following its decision to discontinue recordable Blu-rays. Kakao has revealed a collaboration with OpenAI to incorporate ChatGPT into its latest AI service. Trump decides to temporarily halt tariffs on Canada and Mexico following their commitment to enhance border security, while maintaining tariffs on China. Trudeau reveals a 30-day tariff suspension after speaking with Trump. China imposes 15% tariffs on U.S. coal and LNG in response to Trump's tariffs, targeting U.S. coal, gas, and Google. Bloomberg indicates that car prices could rise by $3,000 as automakers express concern over tariffs. Trump suggests that EU tariffs will be implemented soon, though a solution for the UK is possible. The EU prepares for a trade war, promising firm retaliation against potential Trump tariffs. Financial Times reports as corporate America cozies up to Elon Musk as billionaire deepens ties to Donald Trump. Wall Street Journal reports as Trump hints at curbs on Musk's powers after billionaire shakes up Washington. The Atlantic comments as Elon Musk is president. Doge's access to federal data is an absolute nightmare, legal experts warn, and unions sue to block Musk team's access to Treasury payments. Reportedly, Elon Musk installs a legal server to seize all federal workers' data. Trump-appointed D.C. attorney offers to protect Musk's Doge staff, and Elon Musk is serving as a special government employee, White House says. In the United States, Russian and Uzbek nationals have been charged with a conspiracy to file false voter registration applications, totaling 132 fraudulent submissions. A former British soldier who spied for Iran and successfully escaped from prison has been sentenced to 14 years. The United States plans to withdraw once more from the UN Human Rights Council and cease funding for UNRWA. FBI agents investigating UFOs fear potential exclusion in a possible purge. Rubio declares himself acting director of USAID amid the humanitarian agency's integration into the State Department. RFK Jr. allegedly provided inaccurate information to the U.S. Senate regarding measles deaths, according to Samoa's health chief. Certain migrants detained during Trump's immigration enforcement have been set free within the United States. El Salvador proposes an extraordinary arrangement to accommodate violent individuals from the U.S. and deportees of any nationality. Mexican drug cartels are reportedly plotting assaults on Border Patrol agents using kamikaze drones.